The gentleman from Kabataan Party List, the Honorable Raul Daniel Manuel, is recognized to avail of the privilege hour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege to address, with great concern, the deeply distressing situation in Myanmar. On November 8, 2020, Myanmar conducted a multi-party democratic general election, which is a significant milestone for the nation. However, Min Aung Hlaing, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, in a flagrant violation of the law, ordered the military to seize control of the state just hours before the newly elected parliament was scheduled to convene on February 1, 2021. This resulted in the arbitrary and illegal detention of President U Win Myint, State Councilor Do Aung San Suu Kyi, and other civilian leaders from the government and the parliament. Numerous political figures, prominent activists, writers, and monks were also arbitrarily detained. These individuals were accused of baseless charges and subsequently handed lengthy prison sentences. The coup leaders established an unlawful entity known as the State Administrative Council, or SAC. Under this illegitimate guise, they have engaged in a series of reprehensible actions, including brutal torture, killings, looting, illegal confiscation of property, and destruction. Furthermore, the State Administrative Council has systematically and deliberately deployed weaponry and conducted air defense attacks against religious structures, hospitals, schools, civilian residences, and camps for internally displaced persons. Inmates and detainees endure torture, sexual abuse, and are denied access to medical care. The military members of the State Administrative Council continue to commit brutal crimes, openly defying both domestic and international laws, engaging in acts such as burning individuals alive, bombing villages, perpetrating massacres, and subjecting women to sexual exploitation, all while evading any form of accountability or legal consequences. Tragically, an estimated 70,000 homes have been set ablaze, resulting in the loss of countless lives, particularly among the elderly and disabled. Moreover, more than 1.76 million people have been forcibly displaced due to targeted attacks and arson perpetrated by the military forces. The illegal State Administrative Council has been responsible for the arbitrary arrest of 21,947 people and the deaths of over 3,465 individuals. The military junta executed former elected Member of Parliament U Pyo Zayarto, along with democratic activists Ko Jimmy, also known as U Cho Min Yu, Ko La Myoong, and Ko Ong Turazo, and an additional 100 individuals have been sentenced to death. Compounding this dire situation, Myanmar's socio-economic, educational, and public health sectors have rapidly deteriorated, pushing the nation perilously close to becoming a failed state. The military junta, led by Min Aung Hlaing, persistently ignores the international community's efforts to halt the ongoing conflict, thereby exacerbating the suffering endured by the people of Myanmar. It is disheartening to note that the same military leaders are already facing international trial for the Rohingya genocide in Rakhine State. The ASEAN Parliamentarians for Human Rights, along with like-minded lawmakers in other regions, launched the International Parliamentary Inquiry into the situation in fellow ASEAN member Myanmar and into the global response to such situation. Recognizing the severity of this, the United Nations Security Council passed Resolution 2669, Series of 2022, which includes the demand to immediately release all arbitrarily detained prisoners, and applied economic and diplomatic pressure on the State Administrative Council. On May 8, 2023, the Pidongsu Lutao, or the Myanmar Union Parliament, held a special session and unanimously adopted a resolution which calls upon the international community to take decisive action to end the military junta's war crimes and crimes against humanity, including the devastating aerial attacks and widespread killings targeting innocent civilians in Myanmar. The Myanmar Union Parliament earnestly urges the international community to impose stronger and targeted sanctions on the criminal military personnel, members of the State Administrative Council, and affiliated businesses. Moreover, the Myanmar Union Parliament calls upon the international community to extend practical support, coordinate effective humanitarian assistance, and back the Independent Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, or the IIMM. Lastly, among other calls, the Myanmar Union Parliament appeals for sustained engagement and cooperation with key stakeholders, including the democratically elected legislators from the 2020 general elections, the National Unity Government, political parties that have remained steadfast in their opposition to the military junta, and other pro-democratic forces. This collaborative effort is crucial in addressing the Myanmar crisis in a timely and practical manner. Mr. Speaker, I urge my esteemed colleagues and the international community to stand with the people of Myanmar and take resolute actions to help bring an end to the atrocities committed by the criminal military leaders. Together, we must strive to help promote democracy, justice, and peace in Myanmar. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of Honorable Raul Manuel of Kabataan Party List to the Committee of Rules for its appropriate action.
There is a motion to refer the speech of the Honorable Manuel to the Committee on Rules. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.